Hello and welcome back. In this lecture, I'm going to practice nomenclature of ketones. We said ketone is a functional group that it has a carbonyl with two substituents. The two substituents can be identical or non-identical. And for example, in this case, you can say I have ethyl on the left side and have this group butyl on the right side. Okay, how do we name a ketone? So we're going to highlight the parent chain. The parent chain, it has 7 carbons, so it will be heptane. Okay, we said if you want to turn it to a ketone, just simply take the E from the end of the name and replace it by I-O-N-E or 1. And where is this functional group? It's sitting on the 3rd carbon. So this one is going to be 3 heptanone. Okay, so I just simply get rid of the E and replace it by 1. Or how about this? I have 7 carbon. I go hep10. And then I need to show where the carbonyl group is. I go dash 3, and then I say 1. And that's another way to name the carbonyl. Okay, let's practice more complicated structures. Okay, we have a cyclic carbonyl, a cyclic actually ketone, and it has also alcohol attached to one of the carbons. We said the priority always goes to the ketone, to the carbonyl. We go 1. Now we will rotate in a way that OH gets the smallest possible number. I go this one, it will be 3. And remember, we have hydrogen attached there, and hydrogen is going to be back of the molecule. So on the 3rd carbon, I have hydroxy group. I go 3 hydroxy. And then I have a ring that's made of 6 carbon. So how about this? We go cyclohexane. But because we have a carbonyl, we're going to get rid of the E. We will replace it by O-N-E. Okay. And I do have a chiral center, and this is going to be the chiral center. Let's sign the configuration. This is going to be 1. That one, it will be 2. And this one, it will be 3. And hydrogen, it will be the 4th one. This is counterclockwise, so it will be S configuration. And so this one, it will be S3 hydroxy cyclohexanone. Another way to name it, again, just simply go with this, is S, and I go this one. And here I can say 3 hydroxy. And then I have cyclohexane. I get rid of the E, and then I just simply say is 1-O-N-E. I just simply show the position of the carbonyl group. Okay, now let's add another functional group and see how we should name the compound. And the first thing that we need to assign is which carbon is going to be number 1. That's going to be number 1. Now, should I go to the chloride and give it 2 because it's going to get the smallest possible number, or I should go to the alkene or the double bond? Remember, excuse me, carbonyl gets the highest priority. After carbonyl, you go after the double bond. And so I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. What do I have? I have cyclohexane. Give me cyclohexane. Okay, because it has a double bond, so I'm going to get rid of the A and replace it by this cyclohexene. Okay. A is gone. I replace it by E to say that I have a double bond. Okay, and because we have carbonyl, we're going to replace the E, last E that we have, we'll replace it by 1, and that's going to fix that problem. But we need to show position of each substituent, or each functional group technically. And I'm going to go with this. I have a chlorine sitting on the carbon number 6, so I say 6 chloro. Next, I have I have a ring, and it's going to be cyclohexane. Okay, but I'm going to stop there. And then I say dash. Let me show position of the double bond sitting on the 3rd carbon. I say 3, and then I say En. Okay, now I need to show position of the carbonyl, and the carbonyl, it will be 1-O-N-E. And do I have a chiral center? Yes, this is the chiral center. And remember, we do have hydrogen here. Hydrogen is facing to us. Let's sign the order. This is going to be 1, 2. This one, it will be 3. Hydrogen, it will be number 4. That's going to be counterclockwise. So it's supposed to be S, but because hydrogen is facing to us, it will be R. So I'm going to put R in the front of it. So this one, it will be R, 6 chlorocyclohex, and then 3 En dash 1 dash O-N-E, or technically, like chlorohexenone. Like I did not say the position of each functional group. let's practice more example. How should I name this on the ketone? Okay, start with functional group 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a butane, but it has a carbonyl. So how about this? On the second carbon, we have butane. We have functional group. So this one it will be 2 butanone. Okay, I got rid of the E, replace it by 1. Okay, or okay, I go this. Okay, I just simply I can say butane. Okay, get rid of the E. Now say where the double bond, so where the carbonyl group is 2, and then say 1. Okay, I have a double bond. Double bond, I'm supposed to say En for it, and for the carbonyl, I'm supposed to say 1 if it's a ketone. Okay, again, we're going to label it in a way that functional group, the carbonyl group, will get the smallest number. Okay, should I go from here? And in that case, the double bond, it will get the smallest possible number. If I go 1, 2, 3, or should I go from there? 1, 2. The correct answer is this. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4. And the way you're going to name it, you will say this. You will say, I have a butane. And because I have a double bond, I need to show position of the double bond. So it will be butene. Okay, on the third carbon, we have a double bond. So it's a butene that on the third carbon, it has a double bond. And on the second carbon, we have a carbonyl group, and I'm going to add 1 to it. Okay, next thing. Okay, I took the second structure. I just simply added, replace one of this hydrogen that I have here. I replace it by a functional, by any substituent. Okay, now let's highlight the double bond. Okay, now ask ourselves, what's the position of these two relative to each other? They are on the same side, so I can use Z for it. Okay, so I'm going to say I'm dealing with Z configuration, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and the fourth one, I have a chlorine, so I go 4 chloro, and then you go. It's a butene. On the third carbon, we have double bond, and the carbonyl group is sitting on the second carbon. But I need to say that is in the Z configuration, so I'm going to write Z at the beginning of the name, and that's going to fix the problem for me. Okay, how do you want to name this ketone? Okay, you have 2 ways to name it, at least 2 ways. Okay, that's our carbon. It's a methane. It's 1 single carbon that it has 2 substituents, 2 phenyls, and attached to carbonyl. So how about this? Can I say I have 2 phenyl? Yes. Phenyl. Okay, those are phenyl. Next, I have this carbon. I'm going to call it methane. Okay, let's name it methane. And we're going to get rid of the E from the end of the name, and we will replace it by 1 technically, or O-N-E, diphenyl methanone. That's going to be the correct name for it. Another way to name it is, and like I can say this one is benzophenone. Okay, again, this one is telling me that I'm dealing with a carbonyl group. It's a ketone. Okay, why do we call it benzophenone? Okay, if you take a phenyl group, and that, let's say that phenyl group attached to any carbon, let's say CH2, this carbon is holding benzylic position. So when you say benzo, you already refer that you have a phenyl ring attached to a carbon. So that's taking care of entire of this piece. Okay, and just simply by saying benzo. Okay, and then you say phenone. Okay, phenone, and phenone is telling you that you have a phenyl group, and there is a carbonyl, or there is a ketone actually there. How about this? Okay, I have a phenyl ring and cyclopentyl. Okay, which one gets higher priority? The cyclo. So you say cyclopentyl, and then we say phenyl. And don't be surprised if you see 2 parentheses here, and they are trying to separate the phenyl from the cyclopentyl to show that they are not sitting at the top of each other, or they're not attached to each other. Okay, and then we have a carbon here. This one, it will be methane, and I'm going to replace the E at the end by 1. Okay, and that's another way actually to name them. again, we have a more complicated example. I have a carbonyl. The carbonyl this time is a ketone, and also I have a double bond. And the second example, I change position of the carbonyl. In this case, the carbonyl is better to label it from the left side because it's closer to the carbonyl. So it will be 2. This one will be 3, 4, 5, 6, and this one will be 7. Okay, so I'm going to say I have hydroxy group sitting on carbon number 5, and also I have 2 methyls on 5 and 6, and I do have a chiral center. Okay, and my chiral center, if we assign the configuration for it, this is going to be 1, that's going to be 2, and this one will be 3. Methyl, it will be number 4, so that's going to be our configuration. Okay, let's name it. So on carbon number 5, we have hydroxy group, hydroxy. Next, on carbon number 5 and 6, we have 2 methyls. We go dimethyl. We have 7 carbons, so we say heptane, but because we have a double bond, I'm going to replace it by this heptene. But I need to say where the double bond is because before I add the E, and I will show position of the double bond is sitting on the second carbon, carbon number 6, it will be En. And then where is the carbonyl group is sitting on the second carbon? So I go 2. This 2 is telling us position of the carbonyl. And then I go 1 at the end. I will add it. Now, I do have a chiral center. I have only one chiral center, so no need to write number in front of it. Just simply say R, and that's going to be the correct name for it. Okay, next one. Okay, if you look to the carbonyl, whether you go from left or right, you go 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 4 for it. And if we go from the right side, I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so in both cases, the carbonyl is getting 4. Now the question is from which side I need to label it. The answer is going to be from the right side because double bond, it will get the smallest possible number. Okay, now how do we name this one? We have a chloro also sitting on carbon number 3 in order. I'm going to say this is 1. Okay, next this one it will be 2, and this one 3. So that one it will be 4, and is a counterclockwise supposed to be S, but because methyl is facing to us, we will flip it to R. Okay, on carbon number 3, we have chloro. So I go chloro. And then on 2 and 3, I have methyls. I go 2 and 3 dimethyl. And then I have 7 carbons. I go heptane. But because we have a double bond, we say heptene. And where is the double bond? On the first carbon. So on the first carbon, we have a double bond. Where is the carbonyl group? We're going to show the carbonyl group at the end, and it will be sitting on the 4th carbon. So I go 4, and then I will say 1. Now, I need to show like a configuration of the chiral center. This is the chiral center, it's R. So I'm going to say it will be R, 3 chloro, 2 and 3 dimethyl, hep, dash 1 En, dash 4, or dash on or 1. And that's going to be the correct name of the compound. This is going to be the end of this lecture, and thank you very much.